You don't get your life back in one big moment. You get it back in pieces. Things so small that nobody even notices you're doing them. If you saw my video about the middle of the bed, that was just the first crack. This is everything that came after. I spent 30 years listening for everything in that house. A garage door, a kid throwing up, a child choking, or a baby crying. I wasn't just listening for danger, I was listening for anything that meant I needed to move right now. I remember the first night that it was actually quiet, really quiet. No one down the hall, no one who might need me at 2 a.m. And I just laid there waiting for the sound that would tell me what to do next. It didn't come. And instead of relief, I felt this strange panic, like I'd forgotten how to exist without a job to do in the middle of the night. So I got up and I turned the music on. Loud, really loud, because my body still didn't know what to do with the silence and it needed something to listen to. So I'm still a light sleeper, that hasn't changed, but here's something that has changed. When my adult children visit now, I catch myself starting to listen the old way, tuning into their conversations and ready to step in, and then I stop myself because most of what they're talking about isn't mine to fix anymore. Switching off that instinctive mom mode isn't easy. It has to be intentional. I used to think it was my job to make their lives easier, and now I just listen. And that's it. Sound was the easiest thing to notice because I could hear it changing right in my own space. But it wasn't the only thing that had been quietly built around someone else for 30 years. So I found myself at the beach house during my divorce, and it was a place I had built for family vacations. And having to admit that this was going to become my home now wasn't just a vacation spot anymore. That wasn't easy. It was a vacation house. It wasn't a home. It didn't feel like me, but that led me to asking what home actually meant now in this new season of my life. Asking the bigger question I actually wasn't ready for. Who am I now? It didn't change all at once. The first thing I did was take the big family photo down that had hung in the living room for years. The kind of photo you don't really see anymore because it's just always been there. I remember standing on a chair holding it, not sure where to put it because taking it down felt like admitting something I wasn't ready to say yet. I found a piece of artwork that felt more like me and the season that I was in, and it actually just brought me joy. So I hung it, boom, boom, can you see it? So I hung it over the center of my living room, replacing the family photo that had been there for years. Then the furniture in one room, and then another, and slowly over about 5 years, I told myself I was just redecorating, but really, I was building a space that would fit who I was becoming. The last thing I changed was the bed. I'd been in a king for over 30 years. There was kids in it, there was a husband in it, and then one day I walked into my room and I thought, why the heck is there this huge bed taking up so much space in my room when I take up so little space in it? So I bought myself a bed that actually fit me. That one felt different from the rest. The artwork, the furniture, that was decorating. The bed was admitting something. There was no other half joining me. You see, I already knew that in my head, but buying that bed was the first time I said it out loud in furniture form. I believe the number one cause of disappointment, unmet expectations. And I wasn't going to keep living in a house that held expectations for a life I didn't have anymore. That's who I am now, not who I used to be. Not who I thought I'd still be, just who I actually am in this season. The bed, the walls, that part's obvious once you actually see it. The smallest reclaiming happened somewhere I never expected it. None of what I'm about to share is really big on its own. A remote, a shower, a plate of food at 9 o'clock at night, and that's what a reclaimed life actually looks like. Let's talk about the remote. For decades, I barely watched TV, and when we did, someone else always had control of the remote. It was a constant channel surfing, never landing anywhere. It was so frustrating. Sometimes it took so long watching somebody else flip through all the options. By the time the choice had been finally made, I was tired, just wanted to go to bed. The remote never felt like mine to hold on to. Now I sit down at night, boom, boom. And I actually pick something I want to watch. I can watch a whole episode or 9 of them and binge watch. I can stay on one channel or go to another, and I don't care if anyone judges my choice. Nobody's watching over my shoulder wondering, why am I watching this? Talk about the shower. Not sharing a bathroom anymore was genuinely one of the best parts, because unless something very specific is happening in there, nothing sexy happens in a bathroom. Nobody wants to find somebody else's body hair showing up in unexpected places. We all know how gross that is. So I walk in now, it's just mine, no one else's stuff on the counter, no one else's mess in the shower. I can take my time in there. Nothing rush, nothing to clean up, just my own space. Now let's talk about food. I actually don't have to think about what anybody else likes anymore. I can skip a meal entirely if I want to. Some nights that means I cook for myself, but other times I might eat cereal at 6 o'clock at night or just skip eating completely. There's no one standing at my kitchen counter wondering what's for supper. Sometimes I just pick up something at the grocery store. Other times I decide to go out and eat. It's all on me. I get the freedom to choose whatever I like in the moment. And after 30 years of cooking for other people in fire station sized pots, 11 people's different tastes and preferences, no matter how much time and effort I put in, there was always somebody who wasn't pleased. I am finally off the clock, and it's very freeing. That is what getting your life back actually looks like. Not one big reveal, just choice after choice after choice, until one day the whole house is actually yours. Okay, what's one small thing in your house that finally belongs to just you? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear it. And if this is where you are right now, rebuilding a life that's actually yours, one small thing at a time, subscribe. I'm not going anywhere.